218 Grow Guy here, coming to you with a quick follow-up video to the germination process that we got going on. Remember, in our first step, we introduced the seeds to the soak method. From the soak method, we went to the paper towel, then we put them in the baggies, did our humidity dome. I did check in on them last night. Today is day 2 of this. I did check in on them last night, and one of them did crack. And what I mean by crack, that means that the seed is kind of cracked open, and you can then start to identify the root. So if you see a root, you cracked. So what we're going to be doing today is checking in on the girls and seeing what we got going on, see if we got all 3 cracked, and see what's going on. All right, now I kind of got them out, and after looking at them, I think these are going to go ahead and get moved to the next phase. Because as you can see, this one here has completely popped, and I already start to show signs of, its first flowers. We got a really nice root coming up on this one, and a smaller root on this one. So by nature, you will see this one pop out first, this one will be running a close second, and this will be the third one to pop and then finally show their flowers. All right, now that I know that all 3 of my seeds has cracked, I got good roots, I'm getting ready to move over to the next step. But before I move to that step, I'm going to talk about how critical knowing your pH, your water, how critical that is to your grow process. Knowing your pH is going to be critical because you have a high end and a low end of pH, and you want to be somewhere pH neutral. So that's just going to determine how much acidity is in your water. Too much acidity is going to be harmful to your plants. Too low is going to be harmful to your plants. So knowing your pH is critical, because I've been growing for a number of years now. I pretty much know my pH. I have my pH pretty much dialed in. So for my new growers out there, I'm going to show you a very simple method of testing your pH at home, so that way you can get it dialed in. So as you watering throughout the process of your grow, you know where your pH is at and how much to add. So what I went out and did, I got a simple test kit off of Amazon. I think it's a pH test kit for aquariums. Got your valve. So what I'll do is, this is just my normal tap water. Haven't added anything to it yet. And all I'm going to do is test where is my pH at now before I add anything else. So they give you a little mark on it to kind of let you know where your field line is. Once again, I know my pH. I've been doing this for years. This is just kind of giving you a demonstration of how you might want to do this, just to know your pH. You get 3 drops of here. Ooh, might have been a little bit more than 3, but okay. Then we're going to shake that up. Now, right here, based upon what I know about my pH, I know that this is going to be a false reading. So what I'm going to do is dump this out, rinse my vial out, and then I'm going to test it one more time. So we know that that came out pretty much where I would actually want my pH to be. But once again, I never trust the first reading. Don't know why. We're going to pull that. All right. One more time. So here's why I don't trust my first reading. If you've seen, the first one was pretty much pH neutral. Now, if you look at this, you see a very distinct color. Mine's is way up here. I want my pH to be somewhere between the 7.0 all the way up to the 6.0. So within here is where I consider to be my pH range. Somewhere between 6.0 and 6.8. Anything lower than that requires adjustment. Now, I know that for 1 gallon of water, I need 1 milliliter of pH down to bring my pH within the range of where I'm happy with. So I'm going to add that on. Once again, just 1 milliliter. It's 1 milliliter per gallon. So if I'm doing a 5-gallon bucket, it would be 5 milliliters of my pH down per bucket. And that's typically what my range is. I'm going to grab the stir stick for me. Thank you, sir. And we're just going to give that a quick toss. Now we're going to rinse this out real quick. I'll be right back. So now that I done added my 1 milliliter of pH down, I'm going to go ahead and retest. And once again, because I know that this is, like I said, been doing this for years, I know my pH. So this is my correction. Once again, it's going to vary from household to household. And that's our 3. Get that a quick little shake. Now I'm going to put that back down here. Now you're going to see a very distinct color difference from where I started to where I'm at now. Now I'm within my range. So as I start to add my nutrients, other things to my water, as long as I know that my base pH is correct and I do my mixtures of my nutrients correct, my pH is going to always remain the same. So once again, pH, knowing your pH, knowing your water is very critical, because once again, if it's too much, it's going to, prevent, it's going to make your water very acidic. It's going to prevent your plant from developing healthy roots, from uptaking water as nutrients. In other words, it's going to be truly damage your plant. So knowing your pH range in which that you want to grow in, once again, for me, within that range is good for me. You can dial it in to your pH perfect, but as long as I'm within that 6 to 7 range, I'm doing pretty good. Plants seem to like it. They haven't had much stress. So keep that in mind as we move forward with this video. I'm going to be starting out with my pH neutral water, and then I'll be showing you the next step of what happens with these girls. All right, people, so let's get into this. So what I'm going to be doing at this stage, I'm going to be moving my seeds over to my Euro garden. Now, my Euro garden is this little self-contained hydroponic system set to 24-hour light, bubbles, does exactly pretty much what my bigger system does downstairs, but on a smaller level. The reason why I enjoy doing it this way is because, once again, this takes little resources. I don't need a full load of my nutrients. I don't need a lot in here. It's small, it's self-contained, and when the girls get big enough, they'll move from here to they find a home, and we'll do another video to show you that process when we get to it. But for today's purposes, we're going to be talking about the transplant from seed over into this little baby. And what I do is, as far as my nutrients are concerned at this point, when you buy the Euro Garden, they give you this plant food that come along with it. Liquid plant food. This is probably about the only food that's going to be added to that. I go along with the recommended feeding instructions on the back of the bottle, and I believe it's like 1 cap for the first week, 2 caps for the second week, but they won't be in there long enough for me to get past that 1 cap. So I'm going to be adding 1 cap of this. I also add a little bacteria. My Orca is just add good bacteria within the plant that's going to help you kind of get your root system pretty going and keep them strong and healthy. And then I'm also going to be adding in the KLN, which is a root concentrate that's going to help you sit back and just kind of, once again, right now, the only thing that I am concentrating on is a good, healthy starting root system. Throughout the whole grow, all I'm really doing is concentrating on keeping a good, healthy root system. So all my nutrients, everything is geared to keeping those healthy roots. Now, that start as early as transplanting them in. Not adding a lot of food to it, not adding any strong chemicals to it. I know my pH is right where it needs to be at. So let's get into the next stage. So at this process, I'm going to go ahead and start getting this bad boy set up, ready to receive plants. So my first step of it is, once again, reading the instructions on the back, 3 to 4 pods, 4 milliliters. So that's what I'm going to be adding in there, is 4 milliliters. Where's my 4? Here, oops. Yeah, I'll be cleaning up on aisle 3 on that one. There we go. That'll be my 4 milliliters going in. Now, because I added 4 milliliters of this, I'm going to use that as my standard for my KNL. Just going to be adding the 4 milliliters in there. Sometimes you can mix chemicals and it'll start to congeal on you. If that happens, That means they're supposed to be mixed separately. And then here, because this is just an additive, I'm adding probably about 1 milliliter. So once again, I do this all the time, so I'm pretty good at just eyeing my stuff up. For the newbies out there, I would say once again, what you are doing is dialing in your system, creating a way to grow that's going to work for you. Like I said, for me, my medium is hydroponic, so I'm adding my nutrients to this as I go and throughout my grow. If you're growing in other mediums, cocoa, dirt, organics, or whatever it is, you're going to sit back and start off more with just pH water, not necessarily any additives because it's already going to be in your soil. But starting off with a good pH range is going to help you successfully maintain your plants throughout the nature of its growth. So now that I got those things in there, now it's time to go ahead and get these babies potted up and ready to move on to their next life. So all I'm going to do, as you can see, within here, all I did was got my rock wild. They come with these little pods for the Euro garden. I just smashed that in there. Now keep in mind, these plants are not going to stay in here too long. The moment that they start to display and show me as the roots just start to come out of here, I'm taking them from here and moving them over to the final bucket for the duration of their growth. If I leave these in there any longer than that, what's going to end up happening is that the root system will get too big, and then you won't be able to get them out of the pods as they go in. So this will sit on top of here. Stop it. Okay. So that'll sit on top of there. These sit in here. Now imagine you got a root ball under there that's not able to come back out of that hole. You're going to look at damaging. So this is just more or less a quick way of getting your plant started without wasting a lot of resources doing it. So in here we got, going in first is going to be a Bruce Banner. As everybody know, when doing seeds, you kind of put it in with the root side facing down. And I just want to just get it in there just a little bit. Then I'm going to take my Rockwell and I'm just going to close it up right around that seed, creating that little bit of darkness, but not creating too much force where she can't come up and through. So we're just going to go ahead and get that marked off, looking good. That's going to go in there. We'll leave that there. Then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. If you notice that these have been soaking in the same bucket that you saw me pH earlier. It's the same water that I use in my Euro garden, the same water that I'm soaking my seeds in. So that way, at this starting point, right now, I know that pH-wise, I'm sitting pretty good. Now we got the White Widow going in. This is where if you gotta get you like a little pair of tweezers or something like that, it makes this project go a lot faster. Because the last thing you want to do is damage that root. So she's in there. They're nice and tucked in. I think I'm going to put you over here. And then we're going to turn this so I know where everything is when I go to label these. Now, we're going to try to zoom in on this one. Not only did this one pop, it already has signs of its early flower. So when I plant this one, I'm not going to bury it. The 2 leaves that you see up front will be out to start receiving, the light and get going. So, last but not least, we have ourselves another Bruce Banner. Now the key is to get this one in there, down far enough, leaving those upper roots to kind of hang out. So we don't want to cover that one completely up. We want to just get her in there nice and snug, down a little bit, and then as she starts to receive her light, we have to put you over there. We're going to move you over there, and then we're going to move you over there. So what I'll be doing over the course of the next few days, I'll just be checking in, seeing as they start to pop out. And once again, because this one is already out the Bruce banner, you know, I anticipate that this is going to be, you know, probably my first harvest coming out, followed up probably by the White Widow, and then coming in last will probably be the Bruce banner Cali. So just a quick recap. Check the seeds 48 hours later. All three seeds has popped. We talked about, you know, maintaining your pH range. You want to keep it between that 6 and 7 range. Testing your home water, getting to know your pH mixture, so that way moving forward throughout the grow, you know exactly, you know exactly that you're starting off with a good pH range. Then once we got our water pH, we pre-soaked our rock well, got our equipment set up over here with the Euro Garden. Got the Euro Garden set up right now to 24 hours of light. You know, basic chemicals, you know, a little plant food, couple little things to help keep the roots healthy. And then probably here within the next, I'm going to probably say the next week or two, they probably going to be right here. You know, the first week is just kind of getting them up. They still going to be kind of small. Then once they get big enough, I'll be making little videos here and there in between as they come to life and start to grow, just to kind of show you where I'm at. If I do anything special or change anything. But other than that, this is step 3 of germination. Now we're going to see if we can get life. So once again, keep it 420. 218 Grow Guy here saying stay blessed up, and I'd love to see you guys in my next video.